I mean, in our office, this source says, there's a picture of Bush as Hitler. I don't know where they got it, but yes, Bush as Hitler. It's quite a serious thing comparing Bush to Hitler. So did anyone in the newsroom in question object? No. Nobody did.
Well,
that for me is unbelievable almost, but true.
yes, absolutely true. I saw the poster myself. Actually, it was in.
You can witness the testimony. Yes.
Yes, I mean it was in the same office as the large open plan office which houses Radio Current Affairs, where the main programmes are all based in Television Centre. Now the point about that is that well, there are a number of things to say. One is that no one would see that as shocking. 90% of people on the programme would take that as being perfectly okay, because Bush is clearly a moron and an idiot. He's enthralled to the neocons. People, incidentally, don't understand what neocon means. It's just a yaboo word they fling around.
A term of abuse now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever it means something bad, and it is. On one level, that's a very trivial example. Someone sticks up a poster in the newsroom, and there it is. It's parodying and denigrating Bush, and so what? But I ask you, there is a really serious point underlying it, and I draw the contrast, for instance, between the BBC's. You see, when we say anti-Americanism, I don't think that it is. I don't think the BBC is anti-American as such, but I think it is anti some kinds of American. And there was none of this, or very
red state America.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, if you go back to the Clinton days, there was a very different view prevailing in the BBC, and I draw the comparison between, say, what happened during the Kosovo bombing and Iraq. Kosovo, undertaken by NATO, but many of the same objections which were raised subsequently about the Iraq War, the current Iraq War, were raised about the Kosovo War. I mean, in international law, there were certainly doubts about whether Kosovo was well-founded. It was a NATO action, and there were many international lawyers of good repute who argued that it was illegal. But the BBC actually gave very little airtime to that argument, and certainly went along, by and large, with the idea of the action by NATO in Kosovo. And the reason for that, I think, was quite simple. It was because in Clinton, they had a president of whom they broadly approved. They felt he was a man much like them. This was someone who they could do business with. He was somebody, there he was, this kind of rather louche figure. He was clearly a man of the kind of liberal left. He was a trumpet player or whatever he was.
Saxophone.
Sax, wasn't he? It was saxophone, yes. I beg your pardon, yes. He had all the attributes. He was just exactly the kind of man that BBC people could see themselves spending an evening on the sofa with in their favourite wine bar. He was that kind of guy.
Absolutely.
Now, when it came to Bush, well, completely different. Yeah. There's this kind of redneck, he's stupid. Damn it, he even has religious belief. I mean, how antediluvian can you get? This man believes